We're here with Linda Steele, President, and Katy Acheson, the Executive Assistant of the Mashpee Chamber of Commerce. And they're here today to tell us a little bit about Mashpee Chamber, some of their recent changes, and how some of the local businesses are doing during this pandemic. So thank you guys for being here today.
Well, thank you for the invitation. Yeah. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
So first, can you just tell us a little bit about Mashpee Chamber and some of the recent changes that you guys went through?
Well, the Mashpee Chamber, recently we had to say farewell to our Executive Director, Mary Lou Palumbo. She retired after being with the Chamber for 11 years. December 31st of 2020 was her last day. We're going to miss her. She did a great job. So that's the biggest change that we have to deal with in 2021. Mm-hmm. But luckily we have Katy, who is someone who is keeping things going, keeping things steady with the Chamber while we go through this transition. We probably will hold off on posting for the position, so we are trying to be very careful and make our way through this transition very slowly and carefully.
So Katy, can you tell us a little bit about how Chamber has changed during the pandemic?
I think really the only significant change that we faced is we used to do a lot of really big and widely attended events like La Tavola. Our La Tavola in 2019 had 550 guests. We certainly were not allowed to have 550 people over for dinner in 2020, and we're not sure what La Tavola is going to look like in 2021. We weren't able to have our Christmas parade as normal. So the really big changes are event-driven. Everything else in office has remained consistent. We're still pumping out our weekly bulletin to our members and the public every Thursday. We're still doing our Mashpee magazine.
Yep. Little prompt.
And we're still doing a lot of legislative and advocacy work for our members, and for the residents of Mashpee, we're still connecting them to the businesses that they need. Referrals have gone up a lot. I get a ton of phone calls. So a lot of phone calls from people in town, people out of town, people moving to town. So I say that's gone up, but really that's the only change is those events. We haven't been able to have them like everyone else. We've had to kind of keep it quiet and small and intimate. But as of right now, the office is open Monday through Friday. I'm answering the phone and opening the door for people.
Right.
So, yeah.
Our in-person events, though, that was always one of the biggest assets the Chamber could offer to its members, was the connectivity of the networking and of being together in events and being on committees and that kind of thing. We're kind of going like on a 6-month to 6-month planning basis. You know, for the first 6 months of 2021, so far we have our golf tournament planned for May 17th?
I think that's right.
I think it's a Monday, May 17th at Willow Bend. So we found out in 2020 that golf is a very COVID amenable sport. You know, it's something that people really like to do, and it was a very popular event. So we're hoping that we can have a successful event with golf this year as well. We have not yet planned an annual dinner. We don't know if we can do that yet. We may have to have some type of a virtual annual meeting type of thing in May, where we elect officers and directors and vote on certain things like that.
A little bit back to the local businesses. How do you see them being affected during the pandemic?
Well, you know, in talking to different businesses, it's kind of a mixed bag out there. I mean, we all know that the building trades are doing really well. I mean, you try to get an electrician, a carpenter, and you're waiting. And good for them. I'm happy for them. People are really focusing on improving their homes, building homes, things like that. I'm hearing actually too that, you know, in Mashpee anyway, that a lot of the retail shops, restaurants, although it was tough in the beginning of 2020 when things first shut down, a lot of them have actually rebounded pretty well. They've had to be creative with how they do their business. They've had to probably work harder, but they've kind of developed a plan to deal with COVID, the COVID rules, and kind of work with people and keeping them safe and keeping things following protocols and still do a decent business. So some of them I found have done actually better than they did in 2019, which I was really surprised to hear.
What sort of support are you guys offering to you guys as members at this time?
we revamped our website last year because we were at home, and it's something that you can do from home, right? So one of the things that we added was a hiring page that many businesses have taken advantage of. They just send us the information, we post the jobs with the date, and then after a few months or even a month, I'll check in with the business and close it if they've found someone. But we're also, I'm working right now with Mary Lou having retired to strengthen the Chamber's relationships. And when I say the Chamber, I mean like my relationships with a lot of the small business organizations that all of our businesses have access to that they might not know about. We're promoting SCORE, we're promoting Love Live Local, who have the Resilience Fund. We're doing grants for small businesses. Mass Hire has been doing free webinars. The Massachusetts Small Business Development Center offers free legal advice. We Can, Take Care, there's so many organizations on Cape Cod that just trying to work to make sure our businesses are finding that access and finding it easily, because one of the things we all know is a small business owner, particularly a one-shop, brick and mortar, mom and pop type place, they don't have time to search through and comb through all of these resources. So working really hard to make sure that if they come to me with a question, that I can direct them to the best solution right away without having to expect them to go through and find it all for themselves.
Yeah.
So working really hard to do that for really small businesses.
One nice thing too I find with the chambers on Cape Cod, that we're all connected. I mean, everybody knows the Cape Cod Chamber, but all the individual town chambers are also connected. So if one learns something, they share it. So we are able to keep on top of the latest information and get that out to our members in the community. So that part of Cape Cod is a wonderful community.
Yeah.
You know, and that connectivity really pays to our advantage.
Yeah, and our local representatives have been really busy too on our behalf, so really grateful to them for all that they've been doing and listening to the business community. So happy to be part of that chain of communication as well for our businesses. So really trying to be a hub of information and connection.
Right.
Yeah. I've been working since mid last year of increasing our social media presence and really trying to connect with people online. So we've been doing some just sort of casual chats on Instagram. We're doing a Pay It Forward Friday. So if you go on Instagram at Mashpee Chamber and watch Patrice's video that she made, one of our board members who's got like more energy than anyone on the planet, like she's unbelievable. We're doing more online too to support our small businesses and shop local as well. So it's a really nice technology that we're lucky to have now, that we can connect with people online really easily. So. Yeah.
This might be an odd question, but do you guys anticipate any normalcy for these businesses and just you guys within this next coming year?
If only my crystal ball was working, you know. I hope so. Obviously, we all hope so, that 21 will show a little more towards normalcy, you know, people getting vaccinated and people feeling freer to move about. So I think people are learning to adapt with COVID. You know, you wear your mask when you're out with people, you wash your hands, you take precautions, you clean your surfaces, and I think one good thing about COVID is that we're all learning some really good habits that I hope will stay in a way, you know, that the cleaning and the, the spacing of things, like some of these things are really good habits to keep people healthy anyway, without COVID. So I'm thinking that if there's a silver lining to all this, that maybe we are learning some good habits, and maybe 21 will show some positive improvements for all of us. That's all I can hope for.
Yeah,
right?
I think normal's gonna look different. I think we all think that, right? And especially for our businesses that have found, you know, any of our shops that have increased their online retail in particular, or that are starting to use apps for ordering or appointment booking, things like that. It's, you know, the contactless pay, all of those little tiny changes that a small business would hesitate to make given normal circumstances, that were almost thrust upon them, that'll stick around. I think we'll see a lot of new kinds of normal for sure.
But not necessarily bad normal.
No, I think
it'll be different, but I think some of it could be really good.
Yeah.
You know.
Hopefully summer will feel as normal as possible.
One thing I think
people,
we had a busy summer. Our businesses around here had a busy summer. So people came to Cape Cod.
They sure did.
You know, it was, people couldn't go maybe further away, but they came to Cape Cod to vacation, and I think they had a good time, and they're going to come back. And I think our businesses will be benefiting from that.
Yeah, it seems like the businesses are doing a great job, like you said, adjusting and kind
Yeah,
of being
yeah.
innovative in their own way and making
just
this work
have-
for themselves.
Right, you have to think outside the box,
Yeah.
and be flexible. And that word pivot, everybody has to pivot. So I think, people just have to keep going that way to make it work. One of our chamber's mantras over the years have been to shop local and to really promote our business people and our community to shop local, support our local businesses. They're all here for you. They all want your business. I think everyone should try to really support each other and shop local.
For anyone that's been out shopping in Mashpee, it has felt really safe.
Very
And
safe,
Everyone
yes.
has been really respectful to one another, and I think that's maybe part of the new normal is people give each other not just a little more physical space, but a little more time
Yeah.
and a little more sensitivity.
Patience.
Yeah, and I think that that's a testament to our culture here on the Cape and Mashpee in particular. Is we're patient with each other. Like we get it. Like everybody needs just a little bit more. The businesses just need a little bit more space and time.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to sit here and explain all that with me today.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for-
much.
Thank you for having us. Again, it was a pleasure.
It was.
Yeah, thank you.